Hello and welcome to yet another fun-filled story time session with Aditi ma'am right here at your favorite yellow class. So kids, one and all, come on, join in as we begin this roller coaster ride and we board the story train. If you don't want to miss the train and if you want the train to stop at your home, come on, leave everything else that you are doing and just sit straight. Put on your thinking caps, open your ears, and wear, yes, your favorite smile. Absolutely. What wonderful looking kids we have here. So, children, what do we do first when we begin a story? Call out for your family and friends. Call Dadu, Dadi, Nanu, Nani, Mummy, Papa, Didi, Bhaiya, everybody. And your friends. Come one and all. Come and enjoy the session of stories and songs. So as I wait for your friends and family to join in, what do you think I have in store for you today? First of all, if you can see me clearly and you can hear me clearly, please give me a thumbs up. Good. All right. This is going to be an interactive session. So I would need all of you to participate by writing your answers in the chat option that you have on your screens, on your devices. That tells me that yes, you have been listening to me attentively. So without much further ado, let's just wait for more people to join in as we don't want your friends and other family members to miss out on the story. As always, I wonder if you have been reading, children. Remember, you have to read and read because books are your best friend. When I was your age, let me tell you a secret. The secret was I used to only read wherever and whenever possible. I would not see the time of the day. I would not see what place I am in. I would just grab a book and just sit down to read. And I would not give up or finish or get up until I finished reading the complete storybook. And trust me, I really miss those days. Aren't you doing the same, all of you? Yes? For those who are doing this and reading regularly, I am very happy for you. And for those who have just started, well done. But for those who are yet to take on this habit, please, by the next time I come on board and interact with you, I really wish that you have read a few books. One book a day is all I ask. Doesn't take too much time. Before you sleep, before you go to bed, just read yourself and you will enjoy that. Trust me. If you want to read to your younger brother or sister, you could do that. You could read it to the grandparents, you could read it to your parents, or simply and the best, read a book to just yourself and go to sleep. And trust me, you will have so much fun dreaming about the book and its characters. All right, then, as I can see, a lot of you have joined in. So, shall we begin? Are you ready? All right. So, welcome once again to Aditi Ma'am Story Time. As always, children, I wish that you leave everything else, sit straight, wear your smile, put on your thinking cap, open your ears, and join along this journey with me. Today's story is something again very special. Some of you would know about it, some of you don't. So let's see what story is in store. And before we begin, I have just the right song for you. So all you need to do is guess the song. That's the secret. The song has the clue to today's story. Once you have heard the song, type it out in your chat options on your screen as to what you think is the story I'm going to share with you today about. Right? So, children, kids, everyone, let's roll on. Sharing the song, so let me know if you can hear the audio very clearly. If you can hear this with me,
I'm not sure if this is a good idea. Don't think I like it here really. I'm not feeling that brave. Outside's dark and shadows are listening. Winds are a whispering. Maybe I should stay in my cave. Well, now that I'm out on my own and it's not looking rosy, I'd rather be home with me daddy and toast by the fire. But if you stick with me, I will stick with you, and we'll travel on this lonely road ahead. So now it's plain to see there's a stick with me, and by your side's my favourite place to be. Where's the fun in being a Gruffalo if you can't get up and go? Hey ho, it's just what Gruffalos do. We were meant to tear through the undergrowth, that's what we love the most. Look out, Gruffalo and Stick coming through. I'm looking around but I can't see no goblins or ghoulies. This'll be easy, I'll just sneak a peek for a while. But if you stick with me, I will stick with you, and we'll travel on this lonely road ahead. So now it's plain to see there's a stick with me, and by your side's my favourite place to be. And by your side's my favourite place to be. Now I won't get stuck, 'cause I've got stick with me.
all right. Now, children, that you've heard the song, what a lovely song that was, isn't it? Now, can you quickly take onto your screen and tell me what do you think the story is being talked about in the song that I just played only for you? It's a beautiful song. It has some key words in it. I'm sure you loved it. But can you quickly take a moment to type out what the story is about in one, two, three words? One, two, three. That's it. All right. Let's see. Okay, your answers are trickling in. Interesting. It shows that you were listening. You are a good listener. So what? Doesn't matter. Just write what's on your mind. And we are going to reveal the answer to you. Interesting. Good. Uh-huh. Yes, it's about somebody we know or we don't know, do we? Uh-huh. And this somebody was talking about a stick. Uh-huh. And about being a friend. Uh-huh. And what else? Well, children, yes, you are right. The keywords that were being talked about in the song, which tells us about the book, is the Cruffalo's child. Now, Gruffalo, who's a Gruffalo? It's scariest creature on this planet, though not for real, imaginary. But there was once a story when a mouse was afraid of a Gruffalo, though there wasn't any. And it went about in the whole jungle when the animals tried to eat the mouse. He told them a story about a make believe Gruffalo when suddenly a Gruffalo poof appeared magically from nowhere. And after which, you know what happened? The Gruffalo met the mouse and wanted to eat it. But this mouse was very, very smart, just like you and me. And it took the Gruffalo to all the animals in the jungle and asked them that, see, Mr. Gruffalo, all the animals are afraid of me, the teeny weeny little mouse. Now, when you saw that, wouldn't you be surprised? How can all the animals of the jungle be afraid from a teeny weeny little mouse? Well, that, in short, was my story, which I have shared with you earlier, called the Gruffalo. But hey, hey, this story today is not the same. It's the next story in the series, which is called the Gruffalo Child. This Gruffalo had a baby, and as you are the babies of your parents, you are bold and strong and you have no fear. But when our parents say no to something, should we do that or should we not? Hmm. Well, let's find out what was this Cruffalo's child up to. He was just a cute little cutie pie Gruffalo. But he did something which he should not have done. He was forbidden to do. And what was that? Let me take you to this ride on the story of the Gruffalo's Child by Julian Donaldson and Axel Schreifer, who's done the illustration. Give me a moment, please. Please let me know now if you can see the story that I'm sharing with you. Okay, here we make it on the full screen so that it's just the story, me and you. All right? So, children, the story is called The Gruffalo's Child. It's really interesting. As you can see, there's a Gruffalo. He's a Gruffalo who's hairy, has prickles all over his back. He has teeth which are scary in his jaws. He has orange eyes. He has a black tongue. He has claws which are very, very dangerous. He has a long tail. And in his arm, in his lap, rests the baby Gruffalo. So let's see what happens next in this story. Oh my my. The Gruffalo said, well, no Gruffalo should ever and never set foot in the deep dark woods in the jungle. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, there is a suspense. The big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long time ago. Daddy, can you please tell me what does he look like? Tell me, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? Well, as Daddy Gruffalo started describing the baby Gruffalo, you can see him. He is so fond of the sticks that he has made a stick man with him. And these toys that he has made of different animals. from these sticks. He's sitting inside a cave nice and cozy with his daddy dearest. What fun it is! And listen to the story of the mouse and the Gruffalo. I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. Then he thought, and he thought, everyone thought, and he thought, and he scratched his head. Um, uh-huh, um, my dear, let me just tell you, the big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire, so much so that a bird can rest on it. Now, children, think for a moment, is it possible for a mouse to be like this? Well, you can't be sure till the time you hear me out till the end of the story and decide for yourself if this mouse was really that bad and terrible. One snowy night, it was raining hail and snow. The Gruffalo daddy was fast asleep and snoring. The Gruffalo baby child was getting too bored. Just like you and me get sometimes. We don't know what to do when we have so much to do. So, when you're bored, what exactly do you want to do? Aha! With us around, you are never bored, aren't you? But the Gruffalo should come and attend a yellow class session and not getting bored. Yes, baby Gruffalo? See you at yellow class soon. Anyway, the Gruffalo's child was very brave and he tiptoed, tiptoed. Come on, everyone, you have to join me. Tiptoed, tiptoed, quietly came out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow was falling fast, and the wind blew wild into the wood, and there went the Gruffalo's child. Oh, ho, 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 ho. A trail in the snow, where does it go? Oh, ho, ho, a ho, ho, ho. A trail in the snow, where does it go? Whose trail is it? He wondered and wondered. Whose trail is it? Now, a trail, as you can see in the picture, is somebody's footsteps or somebody has just been here and walked. It is like a long tail poked out of a log pile house. A log pile house. Lots of wood cut together of trees, when put together, are log piles. And when they are kept one top of the other, it becomes a nice house for some animal. Which animal do you think it is? Could this be of the big bad mouse? Wondered the Gruffalo child. Oh my! I see a tail, and I see a snow covered log pile house. Lots of wood, tree trunks cut, kept as logs, and there is so much snow on it. Oh, Mr. Mouse, I have found you. I have come here to meet you. But do you think that is the mouse, my dear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think that's the tail of the big bad mouse? Let's find out, children. Stay with me. there slid a creature. His eyes were small. He didn't have the whiskers. No, no, none at all. You are not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake, eating Gruffalo cake, and off the Gruffalo child went as the snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, he thought, said the Gruffalo's child. So he was just like all of you and like me, never scared and always ready to take on any challenge. Then, you know what he saw next? Oh ho ho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these? Claw marks and where do they go? Oh ho ho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these? Claw marks and where do they go? And two eyes, two big eyes, gleamed out of a tree top house. And could these eyes be of the big bad mouse? Wondered the Gruffalo's child. Ah, kids, can you spot somebody poking his eyes from the tree house in the top of the tree, looking at the Gruffalo's child? Toot, 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 toot. Who do you think this was? Aha! This creature for sure was a short-tailed bird, but he also didn't have any whiskers of any sort. You are not the mouse. Toohoo, toohoo. Not I, but somewhere nearby is eating a Gruffalo pie. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And the Gruffalo child just wondered, oh, this is the owl, not the mouse that I wanted to meet. Let me just go ahead. And the snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. And I'm not scared, said the Cruffalo's child. He was as brave as all of you and me. We are so brave, aren't I? But should we go out without informing our parents? No, no. Now, do you think our Gruffalo's child is lost in the woods? Let's find out. Who do you think he meets next in the jungle in the deep dark woods? He sees four marks, tracks. Aha, oh, ho, ho. Tracks in the snow. Whose track it is? And where does it go? Oh, ho, ho. Tracks in the snow. Whose tracks is it? And where does it go? Whiskers at last. Are they whiskers? Underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? What do you think, children? Is this true? Is this the portrait of a mouse? Does a mouse have paws like these? Huh. Let me think. Hmm. Think, think, think. Who could it be? Yes, yes, yes. Maybe. Let's find out. Stick with me around. Suddenly, in the underground house below the tree was an animal with whiskers and four grins. And out it came from the house. And who do you think it was? It was the fox, a slunk creature, and his eyes weren't fiery, his tail wasn't scaly, his whiskers weren't wiry. No, 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 you are not the mouse. Oh, not me. He's under a tree, trunk drinking Gruffalo tea. Ah, oh my. What do you think the Gruffalo child did next? If you want to find out, stick with me around and let me take you to what exactly happened next. The Gruffalo's child was tired and weary. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo's child as she sat on a stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. There is nobody as the big bad mouse. What do you say, children? What do you think? Is he right or is he wrong? Let's find out. Hey, but here comes a little one out of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You will taste good as a midnight feast. And the Cruffalo child was feeling hungry and his stomach was growling and rumbling. Growl, 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 rumble, rumble, rumble. Don't you have that feeling when you're very hungry? You have butterflies in the stomach. You think that somebody is jumping inside and you really are very hungry. He wanted to eat the mouse. But do you think that was possible? Let's find out. Come with me. Aha! There was the big bad mouse. And as he came out of his house, wait, wait, said the mouse. Before you eat me, there's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you will let me hop onto a hazel twig, I will beckon my friend so bad and big. Now, as the Gruffalo pulled the mouse with his tail to eat him, the mouse, being very tiny but very smart, he had an idea how to escape the Gruffalo's child and not become his dinner. And what idea do you think, children, happened that moment? Let's find out. And what do you think happened, children? Let's find out. The Gruffalo's child left and clenched her fist. Now, this is a fist, and when she was holding the mouse, she unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse, he does exist. Gruffalo wanted to meet, but he was so foolish. He believed the mouse and let him go. The mouse quickly hopped on to the hazelnut tree. Hop, hop, hop. He beckoned him and said, just wait and see. Now, the Gruffalo child sat and wondered and waited to meet the big bad mouse. And out came the moon. It was bright and round, and against the moon stood the mouse, his terrible shadow fell onto the ground. Now, children, if you ever tried, if you're against a light and anything that's in front of him will cast a shadow, but a bigger shadow. If you're walking, there is a shadow that walks along with you, isn't it? Try it out. It's so much fun. So when the shadow fell on the ground, you know what happened? Oh, oh my God! Oh, who is this creature? So big, so bad. So strong. His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. Oh my God, I'm so scared! Oh my God, help me! And jumped and startled the Gruffalo's child. He ran! The big bad mouse! The big bad mouse it is! Yelled the Gruffalo child. Oh no, oh no! Help me! I'm scared! Oh, I've seen the big bad mouse! I should not have come here! I should have listened to my daddy, the Gruffalo! The mouse quickly jumped down from the twig and smiled, for he had successfully and convinced that there was a big bad mouse, was there? Na 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 na. He escaped from the clutches of the Gruffalo's child, and as he was about to be eaten, he thought something very wise. So there were prints in the snow. And whose footprints are these? And where do they go? Aha! These footprints certainly lead into the Gruffalo cave. And the mouse quietly wandered and followed the footprints. Now the Gruffalo daddy was still quite asleep, and where the Gruffalo's child was a bit less brave, the Gruffalo's child was a bit less bored now after this adventure. You know what he quietly did? He went and as the Gruffalo snored and snored, he quietly went and hid inside the arms of his Gruffalo the daddy and saved himself. So, with this, children, I come to the end of this beautiful story. This brings me to the wonderful end of this story today. As all of you would have enjoyed listening to the story, I'm sure there is a key takeaway or a learning or a moral that you have from this story. Why don't you just share it to us here on the chat option on your screen? We would love to hear from you about what you think is the learning from the story. Well, if you ask me, I think that size doesn't matter. Even if you're small or tiny in size, what you think and how you think when you're in a dangerous situation is what matters. So you don't have to be really big, you only have to be brave and thinking intelligently. Well, that, as far as goes, is my moral. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think is the moral to this story? Your learning, your key takeaway from today's story. Also, if you can give us a different title to the story. It had so many characters. Think about them and give us a different name, your name to the story. If you would have written the story, what would you like to call it? We'd like to always hear from you across on our platform at Yellow Class. So it would really make me happy to hear and about your comments of the story. Do share in your thoughts and your drawings about the story. You could draw the different animals involved in the story: the Gruffalo daddy, the Gruffalo child, the fox, the snake, the mouse, or the owl. You could draw them with the jungle, the deep, dark woods. You could also draw them with only their houses. So, for example, the owl lived in the treetop house, the fox lived in the underground house, and the snake lived in the log pile house. So, this story told us a lot about, it gave us deep insights about the different places that the animals and the birds lived. It also told us about different descriptions, how to describe scary creatures. We learned about the different sounds that each animal makes. For example, a snake hisses, a fox walks by, and an owl to hoof tweets. So, children, this is all that I have in store for this week, for this in this story for you. Until we meet next time, do keep reading. Do share us what you thought of this story, your title, and the moral to the story. And we'd like to hear from you always. Send us a picture of yours with your drawings from the story. It's always a pleasure and really a welcome step that we love to hear from you, each one of you. So until next time, happy reading. Do read a book to yourself, as I always say. Read a book to sleep to yourself, and then in your dreams, you will be taken into this magical world of stories. A book, my dear, a storybook is the best friend. So, until next time we meet, keep reading, happy listening, and happy story time. Thank you.